Hey, everyone. It is J&A from the Let's Get Loud podcast. We have Beth Feraco with us. And if you don't know who Beth is, I mean, you will find her loud and clear on social media. We're definitely going to link everything about her. But welcome and thank you so much for being here with us, Beth.
Thanks. I'm so excited to be here.
Okay, so Beth is one of our favorites on social media. We've had a few of our favorites. She's good friends with Jordan Syatt. You guys know how obsessed we are with him.
Mhm.
But today we have Beth, and we have so many things we want to chat about. She is a TikTok phenomenon, and just growing like crazy on Instagram. And we just want to talk about her and what she does and how she does it.
Yeah.
Amazing. I mean, we want to say thank you so much for agreeing to come on. And we just love the way that you show up. And I feel like we've been following you for so long and we've just watched you like grow this like epic following.
Yeah. I feel like I feel like I already know you guys, because we've been following each other on social media since 2020. I feel like I
Yeah.
remember Josie commenting on my first viral video ever.
Yeah. Yeah, we started in 2020. I think our viralness started in 2020. And I have to say, I'm not going to say I'm jealous because I see you working your ass off for what you have and the following that you have. But I am quite jealous of the consistency and the growth since 2020. We've like hit a plateau. We can talk about that later. We've like hit that like there's like no more viralness coming our way. And we're like, how the fuck do we do that, Beth? Is it to say more fuck? I don't know.
I don't know. I'm struggling too. Me saying that, right? But I think I had my first viral-ish video like a few days ago in a long time. TikTok is saturated now. The algorithm's different. It's no longer like 2020 where you can go viral for literally everything because I think times are different. Everyone's working now. Not everyone's on the app as much. Who really knows? I stopped trying to figure that shit out.
Yeah.
Can be
It's
exhausting.
exhausting. It's like just make videos to help people and
Yeah.
But tell me how you like, I mean, I know how you show up, but like, do you wake up and you're like, hey, this is my strategy, this is my message, or is it just like, this is what I'm gonna say? Like, how does Beth decide in the morning what TikTok we see?
It just depends on what I read, like in my comment section or like what kind of questions my followers are asking me. Sometimes someone may like tip me off where I'm like a little like, and that I never have a strategy. It's just press record and just talk.
I see that one of your strategy or templates or model is to respond to a comment. So that like kind of started, I feel like that's like a lot of what you're doing. You're also doing some cutting the how do you call that? Replying to like a certain video with your opinion, calling people out for sure.
Yeah.
That's your thing.
I think the misinformation thing is like I can't because it's so rampant. And why I do that is because clients and people get sucked into that. And it's fucking crazy because the comparison thing, and they're always asking me, what do you think about this? And I heard this. It's like, you guys stop listening to that shit. So it infuriates me when I see videos of like overcomplicating health and wellness.
Overcome. Yes. And we have our mission. I feel like you have a mission, we have a mission, and they coexist so well. I think that like a big part of what we're trying to put out in the universe is the misinformation. I love that you talked about that. You attack the misinformation maybe more than we do. And I think that is why we love you. And you say things on the internet, like we want to talk about that because we do believe that a part of our stabilization on social media is a little bit due to our this is how we are on the internet, Beth. Like we're like, we don't want to start shit up, but we want to start shit up because we like to say the truth and we want to talk about that information. But it's like we're limiting ourselves. We're a little bit more scared than you are. You are badass. You are not scared. And so let's just talk about that, Beth.
Yeah.
Like you're in 2020. What makes you feel like I'm going to go and I'm going to be that person and this is what I'm going to do?
You know what? I think a lot of my adult life was trying to be someone that I wasn't. So my thing with like becoming sober, not drinking anymore is like really finding out who I am. And I do have a voice and to use it, and I can use it for good. Like
Good.
when I try to do something that's not me, it doesn't seem authentic to me. And it feels like I'm lying. And I'm like, just people are going to like me or hate me no matter what. It doesn't matter. Like they might hate my fucking glasses and be like, you suck. So I might as well just be myself because those who like me will be attracted to me. And that's the kind of people that I want in my life, is like the people that can relate to me, I'm not trying to attract a crowd that, just because.
No, absolutely. And I think that you're definitely, authenticity is a big part of like our messaging, and it's a big part of how we show up as well. So we're not faking it. We're not bullshitters on the internet. We're not faking it. It's just, we're holding back a little bit of how authentic we could be because of how scared we are. So we're just like kind of the next level. We see you, we see Jordan, we see James Smith, we see all of you just doing the thing, and we see growth in your numbers, and we want to see growth in our numbers as well, And so it's not jealousy. We see the work that is put behind making TikToks to that extent, because there's a lot, it's quantity. There's a lot of it as well. Quantity plays a big role in that algorithm that we don't understand, but there is an algorithm there. They like the quantity, but you are reaching out to an audience that needs to hear your message. And I know that there's an audience out there that needs to hear ours.
Yeah.
So I just want to say like, thank you for like, every time I like hop on your TikTok, you just give me that little bit of a push, whether it's a live that I do that I'm a little bit more risque, or it is a reel where I say something that I'm like, are they gonna like me? I'm beyond that as well. But there's definitely like, who am I to say that almost? And like, it's like, I want everyone to coexist on the internet, even the losers that are like bashing Coffee Mate, like go do your thing. Like whatever, you're a fucking idiot. I don't care about you, but to go and like point them out, I don't know if that's the authenticity behind me, but I would want to. I'm going to do it. And I'm like hypocritical when it comes to that. I'm going to be this loser. Look at him. Like, who freaking cares? Whatever. But am I going to show up on the internet that way? So just thank you. I want to say thank you. I guess that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
I just do. I don't know. I think just the more you do it, the more you just, it's really getting over those fucking comments, because
I was going to say like,
they really could take you out.
Yeah.
I second guessed my entire existence.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I'm like, God, do I really swear this much? Like, I'm just being me. Like everyone that knows me here, like in my hometown and who grew up with me, knows that that's how I am. But it may come off to be too much for some people. And then I'm like, okay, but then if I censor myself, then I'm not being myself. It's really a mind fuck, you guys. So don't get me wrong. Like I consistently like overthink my own shit too. But then you just have to, I just let it go. Like, this is me. I know I'm being me. I'm not trying to do this for anything else. So.
And I love when you said, the more you do it, I think that it's the same for, because people would say that about us, because we get shit on TikTok as well. Like people like just, and it could be anything. It could be my eyebrows. It could be it could be anything. And they're like, I don't know how you guys take it. And it's like, the more you do it, you fucking don't care. They don't like your eyebrows. Like, but there's just that space that we're still like, we have to work on. We know this. And you're an inspiration, not to show up like you. We're not trying to be you. It's the fact that the authenticity behind you is what inspires us to want to keep going. And so thank you so much for being here and taking some of your time to do this. And I hope that this, no, it's a good time.
I would love for you to give us, like, our listeners a little bit of like Cole's notes, like how did Beth become Beth? You know what I mean? Like you've obviously had your own little journey. I know that you are sober. Like how did you get to the point where you're a person on the internet helping other people lose weight, all that stuff?
Oh, all right. So the short story, right? Because there could be like a long version, but I quit drinking 7 years ago. I was working out with this girl, Allison, every morning at like 5:30. And then I would go to my AA meeting. She ended up getting a job somewhere else. So I'm like, I need to work out still. So a gym opened up across the street from my house. Well, not across the street, but like a couple blocks away, really close. I could walk. And so I started taking classes there at 6. And then I was a stay-at-home mom at the time. My son was about to go to preschool. And then my boss at the time, Hunter, who is actually my business partner now, he was like, I feel like, actually, I'm jumping ahead. I started working at the front desk. They were looking for a front desk person. So I started working the front desk person. I'm like, this is okay. My son's about to go to preschool, so this is perfect. So it was a couple months in, and then my boss at the time, now my business partner, was like, I feel like you'd be a really good coach. Do you want to start interning? I'm like, yeah, that'd be awesome. At the same time, I was going through my own like fitness journey. I just quit drinking. I was running. I, was still trying to figure out the whole losing weight fitness thing. So at that same time I started interning, I joined Jordan Syatt's Inner Circle. And that's when I started meeting Jordan Syatt. So I started learning from him. I did, some of the things that he was speaking about, like, weighing, measuring your food, tracking your calories. And it was like an eye opener because I was taking my nutrition course at the same time. So I was losing weight, taking my nutrition course, interning at the gym, going through my own weight loss journey. So that's kind of how that really started. So I, then at that point got my personal training cert, a couple of other certifications, and then COVID in 2020 hit. At that point, I was at the gym for about 4 or 5 years, and Jordan was starting another round of his online fitness mentorship, and I'm like, I'm going to join that because my father passed away 4 days before high school graduation. I was 18 years old. I have a brother and sister, and my mom ended up losing everything. Bankrupt, the house. It was unexpected. And so my husband right now, he's 52, but in 2020, he was like in late 40s, like almost 50. My dad passed away at 45. So my thought was, I do not want to be left with nothing. I want to have something so I can take care of my son. And so that's what got the fire rolling in me. And then I just kind of got thrown into it because of 2020. The gym got shut down. I was teaching Zoom classes like with no music at 6 and 9 in the morning. It was like horrific. And then, in the mentorship, Jordan was like, we're doing a challenge. We're doing a TikTok challenge. You're going to do TikTok for every day for 30 days. And I was like, oh no, TikTok. Oh, I fucking do not want to do TikTok. I was, and then it really started from there. Doing TikTok. I went viral. That video that Josie like stitched me on or something, that one went viral, and then I really haven't stopped.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's incredible. I didn't realize that you would really only kind of started social media like really in 2020.
Yeah.
And it just goes to show you how getting out of your comfort zone and, getting rid of your limiting beliefs. Like, I'm sure you were like, I can't do a TikTok. Like that was a limiting belief.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I had like, imposter syndrome. I was comparing myself to everyone else on social media. I was struggling to find my own voice. And what really, I think Jordan, he like kind of led the way for being your authentic self along with Gary Vee.
Yes.
I listened to one of Gary Vee's videos. I was struggling one day because I'm like, I want to win this challenge. And Gary Vee's like, just press record and start talking. And that's the video that went viral. I was like, all right, fuck it. I'm going to just say what I feel right now, authentically me. And that video it went. And I'm like, okay, this is it. You just have to be your fucking self. Okay. Yeah. I'm not stopping. And so it just morphed from there.
Wow.
That is amazing. I absolutely love that story.
And that's a quick turnaround. Like we're just 2022. Oh, 2023.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? That was quick. That's something to be proud of. You built that for sure. Yeah. Wow.
Okay. So I have a few like questions from people. So first of all, people said fucking love Beth. So
see, this is why I love my followers. Cause when they ask me questions, they throw fucks in there and I'm like, see, my people. Love it.
There are people that like, yes, absolutely. And that's what attracted you to like, just because I don't spend my time, well, not that you spend your time swearing on the internet, but you know what I mean? Just because I do swear sometimes on the internet or a podcast, it just comes out. I'm like, it is what it is, whatever, like keep going because I'm like, I don't want like, oh, if it upsets someone, I'm like, that's really not our person. Like if that once in a while you're upset with us, and that actually happened once, we like swore and they were like, oh, but this is not tasteful. And I was like, well, I mean, at the end of the day, we're not about being tasteful. We have a mission. This is our message. Do you like our message? Sometimes people need to really take away what we say other than what we're saying. Like just,
oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
I do.
Oh,
okay.
gosh.
So I want to ask you about, so obviously you had a weight loss journey, you had all of this stuff, but you speak a lot about like healing your relationship with food, not labeling food as good versus bad, not being afraid of food, which is a message that we are also really trying to push on the internet, which sometimes obviously gets hate when you say like, I loved your reel or TikTok. I don't know what it started as like, I'm not going to die from a Pop-Tart. Like I'm going to die from all of the years of like drinking and smoking. Like that was amazing. But someone wants to know, okay, I want to heal my relationship with food. Where do I start? What do I do?
I think the first step is allowing yourself to include all foods. And at first you may be over consuming, and that is part of it. That is fucking part of it, right? Because you have been restricting yourself from these things for so long that you're now like allowing yourself. So you may be a little, overconsumption with it. And that's okay. That's part of the journey. So that would be my first step, is just to, with no guilt, allow all foods in your diet.
You almost have to embrace it. So once you've made peace with the fact that there is no good or bad food, you have to embrace it. And oh my gosh, we put that message out there because tons of people are like, because we at Your Right Weight Loss, you can eat what you want. Like we don't give meal plans, right? So it's like, because you can eat what you want. So like, why would I be the one telling you what to eat? You have to take your power back. We have to stop dieting. We have to stop being told exactly what to eat at what time. Like that needs to be over, like it's done. And so anyways, and they're like, if you give me all this flexibility, I'm just going to overeat. And I'm like, yeah, probably at the beginning, because you're like, ooh, like a kid at a candy store. After a while, you stop being a dick about it. Because after a while, your food values show up and your standards show up. And because you've really embraced the fact that you can eat what you want, but you're not going to be such a dick about it after a while. So if your kid could always be in the candy store, I'm telling you, after a week, your kid would be like, I'm tired of this one and I'm tired of this one. But they don't always have access to the candy store. So that's why when they go all out. And I feel like we don't allow that time, that transition period.
For sure. Oh yeah. Like my son, he has a ton of candy from Christmas, and he has one piece of his candy a day and he's fine. He's not like, oh my God, I want more, mama. Oh, can I have more? No, because he's allowed that every day. And so sometimes he forgets that he even has it.
Oh, absolutely. The Halloween bag is still in my storage room and it is full of it. And it's just there. Gio's like, do we still have our Halloween bag? I'm like, it is in the storage room. And she just goes and grabs one, cheesy, so you always have access to it. It's right there if you want it. And I think that's what we've been taken away from us in the diet industry. Were you someone that really went through the diet industry? Did you do a lot of dieting in your life?
Oh yeah, I did.
You turned 50, huh? Did you turn 50 or you're turning?
I turned 50 December 20th.
Oh my God. Happy belated birthday. That is insane. You look insane. Like hashtag goals. Yeah, for sure.
For sure. What was I saying? I forgot.
Okay. Diet industry.
Oh yes. I've done it all. My mom has been on a consistent diet still. She's 76 years old. I love you, Mom. But, she was dieting ever since I was a kid. Oh my goodness. Jenny Craig, Weight Watchers. She's done the lemon maple syrup fasts, you name it. She still does it. And even though I do what I do. So I grew up with that. So I was always self-conscious of my body. I was very skinny growing up. She would, call me the human garbage pail, and I would get made fun of because I was very skinny and tall. We're going to hang you up on our door for Halloween, like things like that. Like, that's what I grew up with. So it's always like striving to be my thinnest self for my entire life. So, and then that with the drinking, I feel like the drinking and the disordered eating was like connected, because I would do these diets like Whole30 that you couldn't drink on. So that would give me an excuse not to drink, because I was always looking for that. Okay, I got to stop drinking. What kind of diet can I do? Oh, let's do a 14-day fast. Then I won't be able to drink. So those were always intertwined together.
I see. You talk about your mom. One of our missions in 2023 and what we're getting louder about. So we just changed the name of our podcast to Let's Get Loud. It is like a part of our mission. So that's why you're here, Beth, because you are loud and you are bold. And that is how we want to show up in 2023. And then we needed to create clarity on what we want to get loud on. And so we met and I was like, what do we want to get louder about? We fucking know calorie deficit. We talk about it so much until people want to actually learn about it and believe in it. And they want to let go of the diet bullshit. It's like, it's that wall. We can talk about that. I'm going to write it down, calorie deficit, but that calorie deficit wall, why are people fighting it, Beth? Anyways.
Oh, it's crazy.
It's so frustrating, but we're like, okay, what we want to get loud on is generational dieting. So we know with our age, because we have small children. So we know our moms, then it's us, then it's going into our children. So one of our main missions and getting louder on is let's stop dieting in front of our kids, and let's stop the generational dieting, because the story of our age is that our moms, and you're a little older than we are, and even your mom, like, so it really is about that. We all saw our moms, and even I didn't see my mom on a diet, but I was on a diet at 12. So like, obviously that started really young. So because she knew about the diets, that's how you lost weight, right? So we all have our story of why we are struggling with our relationship with food, and why we are so, I don't know, in it with the diet industry. It's all looks different. Alicia's a little later. For me, I was obese at 12. For you, you were so thin and skinny and trying to be skinnier. Like, we all kind of our story. For Alicia, it was more seeing her mom being on diet. So like, wow, like it really embraces all of the types of stories. But the generational dieting is one side that like we are really being allowed on, and one thing that we need to talk about and put on the table as a conversation. And then the other side, you said she has access to me and she's still dieting. And like Alicia's husband, we often talk about that. Like, he will come up with shit that he thinks he needs to do to lose weight that is like the opposite of what we do for a living. And he has access to Alicia. And even my mom, she'll be like, how many calories should I be eating a day? I'm like, why are you asking, Mom? What are your goals? Like, and I'm like, are you serious? And so that's why when our followers are like, if I had access to you, I'm like, trust me, people have access to us fucking 24/7, and they're still struggling with their weight and their diet mentality.
Oh yeah.
It's deep.
It's deep.
That diet mentality is deep. And, you know, obviously you're screaming calorie deficit, you know, why are people fighting it, Beth? Why are people fighting calorie deficit?
I think there's a lot of fucking noise out there still. And that's what we're trying to fight. Like, all you guys trying to fight the good fight of like because the diet industry is a whatever multi-billion-dollar industry. What, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Someone's always going to be selling something. Someone's always going to be looking for the quickest, fastest way to lose fat.
Yeah.
And people are going to, because we're in a generation of everything now. No one wants to work for this shit. It's hard because
I know,
you know,
it's the time, right? Because, and the way that we show up and help our members lose weight is different. And like you said, it's time, and people want it yesterday. So they're going still for the quick, sexy, look what you can look like in 6 weeks type transformation.
And I'm more about, let's focus on our health. You guys, no one's focusing on your health. You're focusing on getting skinny. So how are you doing that? You're doing that in a way that's actually healthy. You're not thinking about what you're doing to your body. And when you focus on your health, ultimately at some point you will lose weight because you're exercising, because it's good for you. Why are you sitting on your fucking ass? You have a heart. It's a muscle. You need to work it. So, you know, thinking about movement, and we need to eat our fruits and veggies, fiber. You know, why do we have colon cancer right now? No one's eating their fucking fiber. So, you know, focusing on those basic things.
Absolutely. And a big part of our message, that's why it coexists really well, because one part that we really want is we want people to know that weight loss is accessible to them. So for us, I think that we're kind of like the base, and then it's like, yeah, according to your values and your preferences, go and move your ass. Like, you should be exercising because it should be what you want, but they first need to be allowed to know that calorie deficit, you don't have to exercise, but you should want to, because that's like, but at the end of the day, make that decision yourself. Like, so I think that we're almost like at that base for us at Your Right Weight Loss. We're so like focused on making sure people know that weight loss is accessible to them, because that belief is a problem right now in society. That belief that they need to, we know you lift weights, you love to lift weights. We don't lift weights. We like to walk, whatever. It's all good. I know you can coexist with the way we do it, because what you want is that we move our ass, right? That's what you want.
The way that you love and that you can be consistent with. That's so important. I don't care what, swim, yoga, do whatever, as long as you're consistent.
And that's why our missions are the same. But it's like that first piece, that first conversation that's not even there, of like, it's accessible in whatever way. Like, there are so many different ways, infinite amount of ways that weight loss can look like. Weight loss can look like whatever you want it to look like, if you understand calorie deficit, and if you know, and it's that piece. Like, I feel like we're working against society. Do you feel exhausted sometimes?
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you.
Absolutely. Because like you said, like it is calorie deficit, but there's people on the internet that could like complicate calorie deficit. Like, just because I'm 50 does not mean that I have to do something fucking different than you if you were 30. It's just going to be harder for me to get into a calorie deficit because of all these other things like lack of sleep, or might have more stress. But it still comes down to being in a calorie deficit. You don't need to do intermittent fasting. See, this is the thing, like people overcomplicate this shit. And this is what we're fighting daily, is like the consistent looking for, oh, but that must be the way. That must be the way. No. It's
Oh my, well, and is it the lack of knowledge? Like, and it's they think calorie deficit is like another diet on the side. I'm like, no, it is a state of being that your body needs to be in. And yes, when you're 50 versus 20, the calorie deficit looks different, but you're not put in a special bubble because, oh, you're older, we can't touch you. That's different. It's like, and you know what? A little bit on my backstory is I started diets at 12, like I told you, like 12, 13, whatever. And I was like the worst client ever because I was on this program that gave me all these rules. And there was one rule where I couldn't eat a banana after 3 p.m. And there was like, chili for lunch, egg whites and salsa for supper, for breakfast. You know what I'm talking about, like just the typical, like low carb, whatever. And I was like questioning. So I'm like, this doesn't make sense to me. My thin friends are eating pizza. Why am I put in this bubble of these rules that don't allow me to live that life as well because I'm obese, if you're overweight, you're like put on the side like this. Oh, well, you can't be trusted with pizza. So we're going to tell you what to eat, And so I think that that's where I knew my passion, like at a young age, that this was not okay. There was something odd about the rules. I didn't understand those rules of like, because I was looking around at my thin friends and they didn't have those rules to stay thin. So that didn't make sense to me. I wanted to know the math, like the understanding it part. And that's the calorie deficit part. Yeah.
Right.
I am passionate about this.
Lack of education in school is huge. I mean, why don't people know how to build a balance plate? I mean, they should be taught this shit throughout the years of school. When someone asks like, what's a protein? Like, how do you not know what a protein source is? This is lack of education in schooling, I believe,
I also think it's so ironic with the way that, we approach nutrition or whatever with children. And it's like, my children understand how a human body gains and loses weight. There's no morality. There's no good, bad. There's like facts, and I don't apologize for that, but it's like weight loss is something we like can't talk about in front of kids, but like they need to know how electricity works and global warming. But like children cannot understand energy balance and that food has energy. Right. And some foods, have energy and they have other things. They help our brain work, they help our heart. And some foods just have energy. Like I do not understand how we got to a point where we weren't allowed to talk about it at all.
Yeah. It's funny because my son just, he had a presentation at school. And I was like, oh my God, it was about energy. And the kids had pictures of everything that was an energy source. And they had food. They had pizza and things like that. I was like, see, even these fucking 10-year-olds know that pizza is energy. Okay. And I took a video on my phone and I put it on my Instagram stories. I was like, see?
Yes. You
energy.
See?
Pizza is fucking energy.
And you know what? We're saying, Leash, like, since when can't we talk about it? We can do whatever the fuck we want in the four walls that we have with our children. We're allowed to do whatever we want with our children. It's that why is the internet kind of like giving us that message that we shouldn't be talking about weight loss? And you know what? Because the internet is full of people that need to work themselves on healing their relationship with food and their own knowledge. So that's what's happening. Most people our age have so much healing to do from the shit they've seen their moms do or they have done themselves. And so it is very taboo for them to talk. They don't know how to talk to their kids about it because they're lacking themselves. And we're about to do this interview on TV, Beth, next week, or maybe we've already done it by this time. Actually, this comes out Monday. It'll be on Wednesday. But we're doing this interview. And the question is, how do you diet in front of your children? How do you lose weight in front of your children in a safe, healthy way? And at the end of the day, it has nothing to do with what you're eating. It's how you're speaking and thinking and your beliefs around food. Fuck what you're eating.
I think it's important to teach them about what you're eating. Like, why are you doing this? Because you're looking at your portions. Like, portions matter. Like protein sources, carb sources. This is how I build a healthy plate because I never knew before. You teach them, you educate them because they're.
But also, yes, of course. And saying like, there's nothing bad about anything. Like, I think it's the good, bad, junk,
the good,
fattening.
bad.
Good, bad, junk, and fattening. Those are
I
like,
can't have that. Mommy's on a diet.
Right.
You know,
this is fattening. Yeah,
that's
like,
bad.
Yeah. I saw a comment on one of my Pop-Tart videos. This woman was like, I just bought Pop-Tarts thanks to you. And I was telling my kids that they were super excited. And because I always told my kids that these were bad. And I'm like, see that it starts there.
it starts there.
They're already learning that Pop-Tarts aren't good, but mommy down just bought them. So, you know,
it like seems so simple, or it seems like dramatic maybe for us to be making such a big deal over people calling Pop-Tarts bad, but it is a big deal. It is damaging because our children will eat Pop-Tarts and then they will feel bad, they will feel guilty, and then they will eat 10 more because they are like, it's the morality attached with food that is causing so much drama.
yes. And I think that's why we're so loud, you guys, right? Because we don't want this keep going for generations.
No, we don't.
Oh, yeah. And it starts with
Get
us.
loud in 2023, right?
Just watch us, Beth. Just watch us get loud, okay?
Love it.
Okay, so we have time for one more question, and we're gonna kind of like wrap it up with this one. It's a good one. What is the one thing you wish more people knew about fat loss?
That it takes time, and that you need to stop looking at that fucking scale. Okay.
Obsessively.
Like literally basing all of your progress on a scale number, unless you know how to read it like a scientist, which you should learn to, that the scale's always going to fluctuate. So many more things are happening, and it just takes time. You just have to, keep going.
Yeah.
Really
You have to have more than that as your focus.
Yes. You're changing your lifestyle. You're changing habits, and that is not something that happens overnight.
Yeah. And that's not something you can see. You can see it on the scale with a trend, with time. Right. And that's the part, right? And I guess what we're all trying to say, I think, again, we have such of the same like mission and passion, is that do not be chasing, do not think that number is all, it doesn't show all of what you're working on. So your main focus cannot be thinner, lower number. Like that is what we need to change. That's what makes it a diet. That's how our behaviors become diet behaviors, because we're only chasing a thinner body, a smaller number. It's no longer about who we are, how we show up, what our values are. And we've never had that conversation before. It's always been about, oh, you're here. Hello. You want to lose weight. This is how you lose weight. Here's your meal plan. And it will put you in a calorie deficit. You want weight loss. We want more than that, Beth. We don't want just weight loss. We want our favorite selves. We want a fun life. We want to eat Pop-Tarts.
Live a life of food freedom and just,
food freedom.
Food freedom.
Food freedom. That's what it's about.
There is definitely a difference between intentional weight loss versus dieting. Like you can intentionally want weight loss and work on that and have that as, one of your goals and one of your missions, but there's a difference between that and dieting. Like there's, feeling the guilt. It's the guilt and the noise and the shame and the confusion and all of that comes with dieting that you can avoid if you are to just really have the right focus, the right intentions, the right mindset.
Yes.
Is there anything else you'd like to add? Please plug in anything you want to plug in. If you have I know you have a podcast. So plug in that podcast so our followers can find you if they want more Beth in their life.
I have a podcast called Cut the Crap with Beth and Matt that you ladies need to come on. And then
we would love that.
I'm on Beth Feraco Fitness on TikTok and Instagram, and BethFeracoFitness.com for coaching.
And she's killing it.
And what's happening? Are you working on a fun project? What's 2023 looking for you? Like, what is lighting fire for you?
I'm kind of building my team to be like a one-stop shop type of deal. Like I have about 5 coaches on my team right now, but I want to bring in a psychologist, and a dietitian and, things like that. I'm doing more of like, guest speakers once a month where I have like people talking about emotional eating. I really want it to be like focusing on your whole self, because that's what it really is, not just like come to here and track calories. That's not a lot of people don't track calories with us. It just depends, but it's a lot of mindset work and things like that.
Amazing.
Well, you can invite us anytime. We have so many things that we could talk about.
Love to. I'll be sending you guys an email with a calendar. So
we would love that. Okay.
Thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for asking me.
This was so fun. You've been on our list. We are so grateful for you on the internet. Thank you for all that you do. And let's get loud in 2023 with Beth. All right, Alicia, we're getting loud with her.
Check.
Okay. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much for listening. Have a great day. Bye, guys.
Bye.